Um, the cool thing is, I mean, I've been stuck. For me, I used to travel a lot. I used to go back and forth everywhere, and it had to be. Uh, it was tough for me when I first started out because I'd leave New York to go to Philly to work with Ivan or someone, and I'd get a call to come back and do a recall on a mix, and you never want to hear that because now you got to go back to New York, or someone else will pull up your mix, and who knows what's going to happen. I used to work on the SSL, and the recalls take quite a bit of time, and so I used to take that was one of the reasons I ended up getting having my own rig, that Pro Tools system that I'd travel with, so I could print stems back into it and take it with me. Well, eventually it became that I ended up with more stems back into the mix than I had tracks on tape. So finally so why am I doing this? This is silly. And I ended up, going straight into the box. And with that came a lot of flexibility. So I didn't have to be in the rooms wherever people were. I could be down here in the studio. I would work on an album, for example, get all the songs up to about 70%. And then I'd drive up to Philly and I'd sit with the guys for a week in the studio. We'd tweak everything. And so then after that period, it became more feasible to send files back and forth with, at first I was sending stuff by FedEx. This is like way early. And then there was a service called Whale Mail, which turned into, God, I forget what it was, but it was basically it's like a swap. It turned into Swap Drive, which basically is like a precursor to like Dropbox and everything else, which allowed you to share files with a link. You'd send a link, someone downloads it. Of course, back then it would take about half an hour to upload it, and probably another half hour or more on the other end, depending on what the connection was. And so that allowed me to stay in one place and get files to people and get notes. And then eventually it became to where I could stream it. And nowadays, cut to the future, nowadays I can stream live and be on FaceTime with someone. And that's how I work with most people, where I could, have a mix up. They're hearing it in real time. We're on FaceTime together. So it's almost like everybody's in the same room. And just like Zoom is now, FaceTime's able to do multiple video streams at once. And sometimes I'm working with someone in Sweden and another person in LA, another guy in New York, and I'm here. And, this is the day now. The cool thing about that is I don't have to travel anymore. The bad thing is I don't get to travel anymore. The other cool thing is that I can get a lot more stuff done, because when you have clients come in, you end up shooting the shit. You have some snacks, maybe go out to dinner, and a lot of things things slow down. You have fun doing it, but you get a lot less stuff done. So like Manny said, in the time, the day has become shorter now because you can get a lot more things done. For you, well, it's kind of been that way because of the fact that I don't get visitors as much. So that's the beauty of it with, the stream. So I think today, this world is changing on the production side the way it did for me when I was able to do this mixing thing remotely. We're going to start seeing people doing a lot more records through Source Connect and cutting, vocals and parts across country, across the world, really. And the collaboration thing is going to get to the point where no one's going to have to leave, which is good and bad. But that's where I'm at. I mean, it's kind of cool being able to do that and not have to go all over the place and be able to work with so many people.